Now we have already learned what artificial intelligence is at a very high level. The main goal of artificial intelligence is to make machines capable of taking complex decisions, the kind of decisions that normally require human intelligence and understanding. Now, the obvious question is, how do we actually make machines intelligent? If we look at ourselves, humans do not become intelligent by following some hard coded rules. We learn from our experiences and also from the experiences of other people around us. Over time, this learning shapes the way we think and help us make better decisions in the future. We apply the same idea to machines. So instead of writing thousands of rules, we expose machine to a large amount of historical examples data. This data represents past situations and their outcomes. The machine then analyzes this data using some specialized algorithms and tries to identify patterns hidden inside it. Once these patterns are learned and a new set of input is provided, then the machine should be able to predict the outcome. That prediction may not be 100% accurate, but will be the most likely outcome. This entire process, where machines are trained using data to learn the pattern, is called machine learning. Now, when we say machine learns from data, the next natural question is what kind of data we are giving to the machines. Now, based on the data type, machine learning is mainly divided into three types. First is supervised learning. In this, the machine learns from labeled data. That means for every input data, we already know the correct output. The data is divided into two sections, feature and label. Feature is the set of input details and label is the correct output for those inputs. For example, for a house price prediction, we will have area of the house, location, age of the building type of data under features, and the actual price as a label. We provide enough examples to the machine so that it can draw a pattern and understand how the price is changing based on its features. In the similar way, we can also train machines to predict if an email is spam or if the transaction is fraud or not. In supervised learning, the machine learns the relationship between input data and the output. So when a new input data comes in the future, the machine uses the same learned patterns to predict the output. So in short, we can say supervised learning is the learning with guidance. In this, we tell the machine what the right answer looks like. The next type of learning is unsupervised learning. In this, things are a little different from supervised learning. Here we only give input data, but not the correct output for that particular input. The machine does not know what it is supposed to predict. Instead, it tries to understand the data on its own. It looks for patterns like similar data points, hidden groupings, or common behavior. For example, consider customer data of an e-commerce application. We have data like age, location, number of purchases, average order value, and browsing behavior under the features section. But we do not have any labels. That means we do not know what kind of customer that is. We do not tell the machine which customer is premium or which is not. We provide enough examples to the machine so that it can analyze the data and group similar customers together based on the common patterns. From these groups, we can later understand different types of customer and their behavior. So in unsupervised learning, the main goal is not prediction, it is discovery. The last type of learning is reinforcement learning. It works in a very different way compared to other type of machine learning. In this approach, the machine learns by trying different actions and observing the result. The machine takes an action in a given situation, and based on the action, it receives a feedback from the environment. If the action is good, the machine gets a reward, but if the action is bad, then it gets a penalty. Over the time, by repeating this process again and again, the machine starts to understand which actions leads to the better outcome. This learning process is very similar to how humans learn new skills. We try something, and if the outcome is reward, then we understand that this is the correct way. And if the outcome results in penalty, then we avoid that in the future iteration. Reinforcement learning is commonly used in areas like game playing system, robotics, and self-driving vehicles. These are the systems where decisions needs to be taken continuously based on the changing conditions. In reinforcement learning, there is no fixed data set with correct answers provided in advance. The learning happens continuously through interaction with the environment and feedback received after every action. Now let us understand reinforcement learning with a very simple example. Consider a self-driving car. That car observes the environment using sensors and cameras which acts as the input. Now based on that input, car makes an action like accelerating, braking or turning. If the action is correct, for example, staying in the lane or avoiding an obstacle, then the car gets a positive reward. And if the action is wrong, for example, hitting an obstacle or crossing the lane, the car will get a penalty. By repeating this process again and again, the system learns which action gives better result in different situations. Over time, car improves its driving decision based on these rewards and penalties. Now let me just summarize what we have discussed in today's session. Now we can say machine learning is simply the process of teaching machines to learn from data instead of hard coding rules. And depending on the type of data and the way feedback is provided, the learning can happen through supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Each of these approaches solve a different kind of problem, and that is why there is no single machine learning technique that fits every use case. In real systems, the challenge is not choosing the most complex algorithm, but understanding the problem clearly and selecting the right type of learning for it. If you find this video useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. In the next video, we will cover deep learning and neural networks. So stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, let's keep learning.